Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of EA Sports' College Football 25. We've got Game 1 in the Road to Glory mode with Buck Savage. He's going to be the halfback for Nebraska. I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. This being my first Road to Glory game and playing as a halfback, this is going to be a lot of fun. Some of my favorite series have been as a halfback. But let's hear what Buck has to say about this game.
As I did the tunnel walk and ran out onto the field with the rest of the team, I realized my dreams were coming true. Everything was perfect. The fans were cheering. The stadium was electric. This is all that I could have ever wanted. I was so glad that I came to Nebraska.
Well, Buck sounds excited for the first game, and you know what? I am too. This is really going to be a learning experience for me. On the one hand, there are some things as far as the gameplay goes that's very different than what I've played previously, and I'm not just talking about in the previous iteration of college football gaming, but I'm also talking about even within the game itself. So as I'm playing as Chaz Thunders for his dynasty as the coach of the Air Force Falcons, and that will probably change over time too as he progresses and gets better. As I'm playing now as Buck Savage, the camera angle is a little bit different. So how that provides an additional challenge for me is it's not quite as easy to see how the defense is lined up, or at least I'm not quite as used to that angle. Oh, nice big pickup. The stiff arm, too. If I hadn't been pushed out of bounds, I could have gotten a few more yards out of that one. But also, too, another thing that's going to be very interesting for me from the learning side of things is how best to present this to you. There's a lot of times where Buck Savage, and rightfully so, is substituted out. For example, if he, gets the ball on first and second down, and then we're looking at a 3rd and 2 situation, a lot of times Buck is subbed out. How do you want to see what happens on those next drives? I can think of a couple ways that I can end up presenting that to you, and I'm very curious to see what you would want to see in the comment section. So just tell me how best to present that, because those of you who kind of noticed this already, I appreciate that, but I'm really wanting to go with a more story-focused type of series here, not just with Buck Savage, but also with Chaz Thunders as well. Like, I'm doing some things to really make the story matter, and there might be some things that happen because he's substituted out that I want to make sure that's included in this. By the way, if you're not following the TikTok too, that's where I'm posting a lot of the off-the-field story stuff that's really going to make an impact on what happens on the field and just developing this story around who Buck Savage is in general. So make sure you take a look at that. That should be in the description. So I took a second real quick right there before I started running my route to see if the computer would automatically do that for me. Definitely does not. So I will have to keep that in mind. Oh, a great pickup, but I think that one is going to get called back with a holding call. Yep, it is. Frustrating. If that continues, I mean, granted, this is the first game, and that's the first penalty. But I'm just saying, from Buck's standpoint, that's something that is a major pet peeve for him. So if we see a lot of holding calls, especially on big runs, that could be a problem. Oh, nice reception, but ends up making sure he gets that catch. Doesn't pick up much after as far as yardage goes. So we now have points on the board, though. You see UTEP 7, Nebraska 3. This is something that is concerning Buck Savage a little bit here, that with everything that has been going on so far in the game as far as offensive production, I think Buck has been doing a pretty good job, but the rest of the team has really been struggling to this point. So the fact that there's only 3 points for Nebraska is becoming a problem. UTEP is not a powerhouse at this point in the game. There is a big gap in skill between the two teams, and the fact that we've only got those 3 points, we're losing to UTEP, well, that's starting to wear on Buck Savage here a little bit. So there's pressure on him, especially on a lot of these runs, to make some pretty big gains. So 3rd and 1, pressure's on for him to get that first down. Not too much as far as a hole to run through and where he was supposed to go, but luckily he found the opening, got enough for the first down. Another stiff arm right there, and I really love seeing that because Buck is set up as a halfback that focuses on speed. So there really isn't as much as far as like stiff arm, trucking, all that type of stuff that I've really worked to try and progress him on. But I might have to do that because as I'm learning the Nebraska playbook a little bit, and as Buck is really starting to get acclimated with some things, there's a lot of runs up the middle that are kind of more designed, I think, for a power halfback to excel in rather than a speedy one like Buck Savage is. So I might have to change some things overall. We'll see how that kind of unfolds as I continue to gain experience points, get his level up, and be able to purchase some upgrades. It is now the fourth quarter. UTEP 17, Nebraska 10, 3rd and inches. And Buck's number is going to be called here. Fantastic. Gets that first down. All right, we're still going here. This fourth quarter is going to be huge. I feel the pressure. Buck obviously feels the pressure here too. And I'm not going to do too much here, I think, to really alter how the play is going to go. Oh, interception. Dylan Raiola could not have thrown an interception at a worse part of the field. Because now UTEP is probably within field goal range right here starting off their drive. And yep, the Cornhusker fans have every right to be really frustrated with how that one ended up going. 17-10. Let's see here what the score is going to be after that UTEP drive. Oh, they didn't score. Did we get a turnover? That's the big question. On the option run, Dylan Raiola only picks up a couple of yards. Now, I think that relationship between Dylan Raiola and Buck Savage is really going to develop over the years. Both of them are freshmen, starters, big offensive producers. It'll be really interesting to see if there's a rivalry that builds between the two or a friendship based off of mutual respect. We're going to have to explore that, I think. But more importantly, let's focus on this game. It is now 1st and 10, 5 minutes left to go in the game. Nebraska down by 7 against the UTEP Miners. An opening right there, big pickup, another broken tackle on a stiff arm. We actually got a couple right there. That is exactly what Nebraska needed. Buck Savage coming in clutch right there. 4:51 left in the game, but he's taken out for the rest of it. So we are now in overtime. Nebraska did end up scoring. Buck picking up 7. Now we're going to go to the left here. This looks pretty promising. Oh, wide open. Oh, breaks that one tackle, going for the corner, and he ends up making it. That touchdown is going to put Nebraska up. Let's see what ends up happening. Nebraska ends up winning it. Buck Savage is the hero in game number 1, picking up 190 yards on the ground and getting what ends up being the game-winning touchdown. What a great way to start off this season, the series, the career, all of that. A Buck Savage. I could not have planned that any better myself. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. More Buck Savage to come. Again, please comment and let me know how you would want me to present this to you. I want to make sure it's exciting for you guys as well. Also, make sure that you guys check out post-game on TikTok and everything that happened throughout this week so you can get more on the story. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you next time.